जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी। गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन। जमुनतीरावनचारी। जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी। गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन। यमुनतीरावनचारी। जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakacharyasta Tarasata Shri Srimati's Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Maharaj Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Gantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayat. Nastaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. So today we are reading from, can you hear me? Yeah? Okay. We are reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 23, Text 5 to 12. So we will read the translations from Chapter 5 onwards. So would you like to start? Thank you.
When Prahlad Maharaj heard how Bali Maharaj, his grandson and descendant, had been released from bondage and had achieved the benediction of the Lord, he spoke as follows in a tone of greatly ecstatic devotion.
Text 6. Prahlad Maharaj said, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, you are universally worshipped. Even Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva worship your lotus feet. Yet, although you are such a great personality, you have kindly promised to protect us, the demons. I think that such kindness has never been achieved, even by Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, or the goddess of fortune Lakshmi. What to speak of other demigods or common people?
O supreme shelter of everyone, great personalities like Brahma enjoy their perfection simply by tasting the honey of rendering service at your lotus feet. But as for us who are all rogues and debauchees, born of an envious family of demons, how have we received your mercy? It's been possible only because your mercy is causeless.
O my Lord, your pastimes are all wonderfully performed by your inconceivable spiritual energy, and by her perverted reflection, the material energy, you have created all the universes. As the supersoul of all living entities, you are aware of everything, and therefore you are certainly equal to everybody. Nonetheless, you favor your devotees. This is not partiality, however, for your characteristic is just like that of a desire tree, which yields everything according to one's desire.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear son Prahlad, all good fortune unto you. For the time being, please to the place known as Sutala, and there enjoy happiness with your grandson and your other relatives and friends.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead assured Prahlad Maharaj, "You shall be able to see me there in my usual feature with conch shell, disc, club, and lotus in my hand. Because of your transcendental bliss due to always personally seeing me, you will have no further bondage to fruitive activities."
Text 11 and 12. Srila Shukadev Goswami said, accompanied by Bali Maharaj, my dear King Parikshit, Prahlad Maharaj, the master of all the chiefs of the demons, took the Supreme Lord's order on his head with folded hands. After saying yes to the Lord, circumambulating him, and offering him respectful obeisances, he entered the lower planetary system known as Sutala.
Thank you. So we are going to be doing verse number 8 today. On the board. Chitram tavehitam ahomita yogamaya. Lila vishrita bhuvanasya visharadasya. Sarvatmana samadrisho vishama swabhavo. Bhakta priyo yadasi kalpataru swabhavaha. Chitram tavehitam ahomita yogamaya. Lila vishrishta bhuvanasya visharadasya. Sarvatmana samadrisho vishama swabhavo. Bhakta priyo yadasi kalpataru swabhavaha. Chitram tavehidam ahomita yogamaya. Lila vishrishta bhuvanasya visharadasya. Sarvatmana samadrisho vishamayad swabhavo. Bhakta priyo yadasi kalpataru swabhavaha. Please chant. Priyo yadasi kalpataru swabhava. Chitram tavehitam ahomita yogamaya. Lila vishrishta bhuvanasya visharadasya. Sarvatmana samadrisho vishama swabhava. Bhakta priyo asit tatva swabhava. Ram Tavehita Mahomita Yogamaya. Lila Vishrishta Bhuvanasya Visharadasya. Sarvatmana Samadrisho Vishama Swabhavo. Bhakta Priyota Dasi Kalpataru Swabhava. We'll do the word for word. Chitram, very wonderful. Tava ihitam, all your activities. Aho, alas. Amita, unlimited. Yogamaya, of your spiritual potency. Leela, by the pastimes. Vishrishta Bhuvanasya, of your lordship, by whom all the universes have been created. Visharadasya, of your lordship, who are expert in all respects. Sarva Atmanaha, of your lordship, who pervade all. Samadrisha, and who are equal toward all. Avishamaha, without differentiation. Swabhavaha, that is your characteristic. Bhakta Priyaha, under the circumstances, you become favorable to the devotees. Yet, because Asi, you are Kalpataru Swabhavaha, having the characteristic of a desire tree. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Shall we read it all together? Can we? Okay. O my Lord, your pastimes are all wonderfully performed by your inconceivable spiritual energy. And by her pervaded reflection, the material energy, you have created all the universes. As the super soul of all living entities, you are aware of everything, and therefore you are certainly equal toward everyone. Nonetheless, you favor your devotees. This is not partiality, however, for your characteristic is just like that of a desire tree, which yields everything according to one's desire. Who would like to read the purport?
The Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 9:22, Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dvesho stinapriyaha ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya maite teshu chapyaham. I envy no one nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all, but whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend, is in me, and I am also a friend to him. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is certainly equal toward all living entities, but a devotee who fully surrenders at the lotus feet of the Lord is different from a non-devotee. In other words, everyone can take shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord to enjoy equal benedictions for the Lord, but non-devotees do not do so, and therefore they suffer the consequences created by the material energy. We can understand this fact by a simple example. The king or government is equal to all citizens. Therefore, if a citizen capable of receiving special favors from the government is offered such favors, this does not mean that the government is partial. One who knows how to receive favors from the authority can receive them, but one who does not neglect these favors and does not receive them. There are two classes of men, the demons and the demigods. The demigods are fully aware of the Supreme Lord's position, and therefore they are obedient to him. But even if demons know about the supremacy of the Lord, they purposely defy his authority. Therefore, the Lord makes distinctions according to the mentality of the living beings, but otherwise he is equal to everyone like a desire tree. The Lord fulfills the desires of one who takes shelter of him, but one who does not take such shelter is distinct from the surrendered soul. One who takes shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord is favored by the Lord, regardless of whether such a person is a demon or a demigod.
Thank you. So here we see that Bali Maharaj has been released from the binds of Vasuki, right? And now we enter Prahlad Maharaj. So what is the relationship between Prahlad Maharaj and Bali Maharaj? Who's the grandfather and who's the grandson? Prahlad Maharaj is the grandfather, and yes, and Bali Maharaj is his grandson. And so from text 6 to text 8, there are 3 prayers which are offered by Prahlad Maharaj to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this case, it is, how is the Lord appearing here? As Vamanadev, yes. And Prahlad Maharaj starts by saying how the Lord is such a great person. He's telling the Lord that you have personally vowed to protect us, and you are coming through. Because you've given your word, you are protecting us, even though we are demons. And in that way, we are actually more fortunate than Lakshmi, more fortunate than Brahma, more fortunate than Lord Shiva even. And why is that? Why is he saying that? Why is Prahlad Maharaj saying that the Bali Maharaj and the demons are more fortunate than Lakshmi Devi, Brahma, and also Shiva? What does he say? He gives a reason, right? And you can look in the book if you can get the understanding. We think that Brahma and Lord Shiva and Lakshmi are great devotees of the Lord, right? And they get the opportunity to be close to him, and so they are so fortunate. But here, a demon, Bali Maharaj, he is a demon. And the nature of the demon is that they are opposed to the Lord. But Prahlad Maharaj is saying, you are being so kind to us demons. And the reason? What reasons does he give? Can you catch it? It is his causeless mercy, yes. And he says that apart from that, he also says, when we see the second text number 7, that these devotees, Brahma, Lord Shiva and Lakshmi, they are rendering devotional service to the Lord, right? And devotional service to the Lord means it is favorable to the Lord, right? Whereas the demons, they are not doing anything favorable to the Lord. So even though the demons are opposed to the Lord, he is more favorable to the demons, even though they are opposed to the Lord. So this is the Lord's causeless mercy, like you said. Not only that, he says that being demons, what is our disqualification? He says we are rogues and debauchees. Right? We have no qualification to actually approach you. But because of your causeless mercy, you are giving protection and shelter to those who have surrendered to you. So this is one of the keys, right? That the Lord gives protection to anyone who surrenders to him. And here we see the example of Bali Maharaj. Even though he is a demon, he has surrendered completely to the Lord. And he's given as an example of Atma Nivedana, right? In the Nava Yoga Bhakti, the 9 parts of devotion, or 9 types, ways in which we can approach the Supreme Lord, Bali Maharaj is given as the person who surrendered completely to the Supreme Lord. And so therefore, he gets the mercy of the Supreme Lord. And then in text 8, the verse for today, Prahlad Maharaj is describing how is the Lord so great. No? We can say someone is very great, someone is very nice, but if we are very specific, then it means we are paying attention to those characteristics which make that person great. So if we look at text 8, maybe you can bring it up, just the translation. What are some of the qualities of the Lord which Prahlad Maharaj is saying makes the Lord very great, or which he is appreciating? Can we find those? You created all the universes, so he is the supreme creator. Very nice. What else? You are the super soul in everyone's heart. And as a super soul, what is the other quality? You are equal to all. Samadrisha. Yes, he said you are the super soul in everyone's heart, and you are equal to everyone. And as the super soul, what else does he know? He knows everything. Yes, you know everything, right? And that is your characteristic also. What else? You are very dear to your devotees. Yeah, Bhakta Priyaha. To those who are surrendered to your devotees, you are very dear. And what else? Yes, and would you like to elaborate on that? In what way is the Lord like a desire tree? Kalpataru, right? Swabhava, that is your nature. Yeah. Yes. And so therefore it seems when we read the translation, he says, first he says that you are aware of everything as the super soul, and therefore you are certainly equal toward everyone. And then he says, nonetheless, you favor your devotees. So that seems to be like something quite opposite, right? Not the same. And then then he qualifies, right? This is not partiality. However, for your characteristic is just like that of a desire tree, and the nature of the desire tree is that it gives you whatever you want, right? So if one wants to be favorable and serve the Lord, the desire tree gives us that desire. And if we want to be inimical, then the Lord also fulfills that desire also, right? And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada starts to, he quotes from Bhagavad Gita, Samaham sarve bhuteshu. The Lord says that he envies no one and he is not partial to anyone, but whoever renders service to him in devotion is his friend and is in him, and the Lord is also very favorably inclined to him. And so this is so externally or superficially it may seem like the Lord is partial, right? For some people he is a friend, and some people he neglects, right? Or he just he doesn't even consider. But actually that is his samadrisha, his equanimity, because he awards everyone whatever they desire, right? So, Srila Prabhupada in the purport says that anyone who surrenders to the Lord can enjoy any benediction from the Lord. And what example does he give? What is the analogy Srila Prabhupada uses in the purport? The government. Okay, would you like to tell us what he says about the government? Can he have the mic? You're very soft-spoken. You can put it in your own words or whatever. Yeah.
He says the king and government is equal to the citizens, and the citizen is capable of receiving special favors if he accepts it, and then if he neglects it, then he doesn't get it.
Yes, very nice. So yeah, the citizen or the government, they give equal favors to everyone, right? But to the extent that we can accept the favor, our capacity to accept, right? How big is our vessel? How prepared is our vessel? We can accept the benedictions of the Lord. So it depends on our qualification to accept the benediction of the government or the benediction of the Lord. If we are prepared and if the ground is fertile, we can accept it and we can benefit from it. But if we are not prepared, if our vessel is not, we don't have the qualification to accept the benediction of the Lord, it looks like we are neglected by the Lord, right? Like for instance, as students, right? There are so many scholarships available. The scholarships are available to everyone, but does everyone get a scholarship? No. So what is the criteria for someone to get a scholarship? Yeah, they have to try. They have to make the endeavor, right? So it depends. God helps those who help themselves, right? Do you remember the example from Bhagavad Gita about Prabhupada quoting this verse? God helps those who help themselves. It's in chapter 6. I'll give you a hint. About the sparrow. Remember the example of the sparrow? Yes, the sparrow, what happened to the sparrow? He lost his eggs, yes? And then? Because the ocean would not return the eggs, yes. And why did Garuda come to help him? He was trying his best, yes. He was trying his best and that attracted the attention of Garuda. So similarly, when we try our best, that attracts the attention of the devotees of the Lord and the Lord himself. And then either he will come, right? Here he came, he is here like as Vamanadev, or he will send his devotees. Like in the case of the sparrow, he sent Garuda, right? So, and there Srila Prabhupada says, God helps those who help themselves. So we have to qualify to receive the bounty or the benedictions that the Lord is sending us, right? If we are not qualified, when we sow seeds in the ground, if the ground is well prepared and fertile, the seed will grow, right? But if the ground is barren, if you put a seed in the sand or on a rock, that is the same seed, the same sunlight, but that ground is not ready, right, to accept the seed. So therefore the seed doesn't grow. So similarly, our Bhakti Lata Bij, if we provide a fertile ground by hearing and chanting, by associating with the devotees, then we can also accept that mercy of the Lord, and we can then increase our relationship, right? We can get closer to the Lord in devotional service. Whereas if we are not preparing ourselves with our sadhana by associating with the devotees, then even though the mercy is flowing, we don't have a vessel to accept it, right? Or sometimes they give the example that, when the rain comes down, the rain falls on everyone, right? But for someone who holds up the umbrella, he cannot get the rain. He cannot get the mercy of the rain. So similarly, sometimes, because of our conditioning, because we want to enjoy separately from the Lord, we have put up this umbrella of our false ego. And that stands in the way of our receiving the mercy of the Lord. And it's not that the Lord is neglecting us, it's just that we are not prepared to accept the blessing. So, and that's the difference, Prabhupada says, between the demons and the devotees, right? The devotees know that the Lord is the Supreme Lord, and they want to have a relationship of service, loving service with the Lord, right? Because to show love, we do some service, right? That's the symptom of love. But the demons, they do not, even if they know that the Lord is the supreme personality of Godhead, and that he's supplying everything, and he's the ultimate benefactor for everyone, they, even if they know, or sometimes they may not know, right? Or they refuse to know. Even though they know, they do not want to enter into a relationship with the Lord of service. But they want to become the Supreme Lord themselves, right? Instead of serving him. And that's where they go wrong. And here Srila Prabhupada says, they purposely defy his authority, right? In purpose. And therefore, the Lord makes distinction according to the mentality of the living being. Otherwise, he is equal to everyone, right? So, and then he says, Srila Prabhupada ends by saying that the Lord fulfills the desires of one who takes shelter of him, but one who does not take shelter is distinct from the surrendered soul. So the demons do not take shelter of the Supreme Lord, but rather they are at odds, right? They are in competition with the Supreme Lord. Whereas the devotees want to serve the Supreme Lord in a mood of loving devotional service. So in this way, they get the benedictions that the Lord is giving. And we see, no matter how disqualified we are, how demoniac we are, or how bad our qualities, if we just say for one moment that from my Lord I surrender unto you, the Lord cannot refuse, right? We have this example in the Ramayana. What example is there in the Ramayana? Very famous classical example. But Vibhishan. And what was the example? Use the mic. Yes.
He was from the enemy side, and all of the monkeys refused, but Hanuman and Rama decided to welcome him.
No, first they said, what did they say when
Yeah.
Lord Rama asked them? What did they say? Did they say yes right away?
No.
Yeah, they said he's from the enemy side.
Yeah.
We are at war. He's just a spy.
He might be a spy.
Yeah. Yeah. But what does the Lord reply? What does he say?
Because even if Ravana approaches me, I will give him shelter.
Yes, whoever approaches me, I will give. But if once we surrender. And also it's described in the Ramayana, right? Like when the Lord was walking barefoot in the forest, the thorns would sometimes prick his feet, but he did not want them removed because he felt that they have taken shelter of me, so I have to give them shelter. This is the Lord's magnanimity. This is his benevolence. Yeah? And the most benevolent incarnation of the Lord in this age is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he gave us the chanting of the holy name, for which we don't need any qualification, right? Whatever, our only qualification is our disqualification to approach him. The more disqualified we are, the more he showers his mercy upon us. Not to say that we should try to become more disqualified. If we serve him in a way favorable to him, he is very pleased. But our disqualification is actually not important. The holy name is available to every one of us. And like today, they made the announcement that we are going out on Harinam, right? So we make ourselves fortunate by going out on Harinam, and we make others fortunate by giving them the holy name. So this is such a beautiful process, no? Everyone wins. The person who gives the holy name gets benefit, and the person who receives the holy name also gets benefit. So here we see that, but it looks like superficially that Bali Maharaj lost, right? It seemed like a very bad circumstance, right? He made a promise, he failed to deliver on his promise, and because it seemed like the Lord cheated him by expanding himself, so it looks like he got a bad deal, right? Someone can argue like this. However, our acharyas say that he actually didn't get a bad deal, right? Why do they say that? Because he had so much power and prestige, right? There was material opulence on his side. But by forcing him in this situation, the Lord gave him spiritual benediction, the benediction that he could fully surrender, no? Atma Nikshepa, that he was able to fully surrender to the Lord And by his full surrender, the Lord granted him more than what he desired, right? He got his own planet where he said that nobody will be able to defeat you. Not only that, what did he say? You will be able to see me every day. And he says in the purpose before that if we see the Lord every day, what happens? We become blissful and we do not see birth and death again. So this is the benediction that he gave to Bali Maharaj in exchange for Bali Maharaj giving up just his material possession. And therefore the Lord is not just equal to everyone, but he's partial to those who surrender to him, right? And also then he shows also the Bali Maharaj example is given here that he was truthful to his vow and he surrendered completely. And he epitomizes this idea of surrendering to the Supreme Lord no matter what. So I will stop here and take reflections or questions or shares. Is that okay? Yes.
Thank you for a very nice class. I think initially, somewhere in the previous cantos, there was one discussion that even in the heavenly planets, sometimes they do not know who the Supreme Being is. I think this was with reference to the Vishnu Dutas who came to Ajamil, get Ajamil, and then they went to Yamraj to ask, okay, we thought you were supreme, so is there somebody else? And I think that time we were having discussion that some of them do not know who the Supreme Being is, even if they are in heavenly planets. But seems like in this verse, it's these verses, it's being very clearly mentioned with the example of Bali Maharaj. Also that he'll see Vamandev every day, be blissful, and then he will go to the heavenly planets where everybody's fully aware of the Lord's potency, and therefore they do service to him. So is there, so are we to assume that everybody does know and maybe just a few?
When you were saying that it was the Yamadutas who came to Yamaraj, and they are not part of the heavenly planet, right? They are the lower planetary systems. And they were asking the Lord, they were asking Yamaraj actually, like, how many controllers are there? We thought that you were the controller.
Okay, okay, so.
Yeah. This is, Yamaraj is the lower, when we go there.
Thank you.
Anything else? Any other shares or reflections? Have we, one thing we can reflect on is, have we ever been in a situation where it seemed like the Lord was presenting, or circumstances were so bad for our devotional service, or we felt like we were cheated, or we got the short end of the stick? And how did, in a similar situation to Bali Maharaj, how did we respond in such a circumstance? Did we see the loving hand of the Lord, or did we see the stick the Lord is giving us? And how can we, when we are faced with such situations where it seems like the Lord is punishing us, how can we see the benevolent hand of the Lord? And what can we do to always see the benevolent hand of the Lord? Anyone had any experiences like that, or it's just me? Yes.
Thank you for the very nice class, Mataji. Actually, I have a question based on the question you just asked. So, sometimes in theory we know everything, like we have surrendered to Guru and Krishna, they are taking care of everything. But when we are in that intense situation, it's very difficult to remember. So do you have any suggestions, like when we are really going through that, how we can still remember? Because outside of that situation, we always remember, we know, but when we are in that situation, it's always difficult. And once the situation passes and after the situation is gone and the good things from that situation manifest, then we look back and see, oh, this is, Lord put me through this because he wanted me to, benefit from it. But when they're in that situation, it's very difficult to remember everything. So do you have any suggestion?
Yeah, we see that in Bali Maharaj's case, he was very dutiful, right? He was beholden to the truth, that I've given my word, I will not give it up. Similarly, as part of our devotional service or as we go through our journey, if we have this full confidence that the Lord is always our maintainer and he's always our protector, that the Lord never does anything which is terrible for us, even though it looks like it's not so good. Like as a mother, sometimes you have to chastise your child, or you have to put some restrictions, no? You can't watch TV or you can't play video games after you only have a limit of, say, like half an hour, right? So the child, does he like it? No. You know why? My friends can play video games till 10 o'clock at night. Their mother does not tell them they have to play for only half an hour. Why are you so nasty to me? You must not love me, right? The child says like this. I had this experience when I was growing up. I was growing up in the time where there was no TV. We just had radio. And my grandfather did not like us to listen to the radio. But, so I used to feel, and we never went to the movies. All our friends would go and they would discuss about movies during break, So I was thinking, we developed a way of coping with it, and I was thinking, like, why is this so restrictive? But when I grew up, then I realized, wow, he did me such a great favor. I have no attraction to watch TV, whereas those who have been, it becomes a habit, right? We become conditioned. I'm so grateful that I have no desire at all to watch TV because I didn't have that samskara when I was growing up. As in the 6 symptoms of surrender, it's one of them is to accept things favorable, reject things unfavorable, consider that the Lord is always my maintainer and he's always my protector. And the other one is this Atma Nikshepa, to surrender oneself, full self-surrender and then humility. If we always remember this, that the Lord is always our benefactor. The child, even though he gets upset, he knows that my parents are my benefactor, mostly in functional families, right? So they know that even though we don't like it, there must be something good. In the moment, they will be very unhappy. But down the line, they will be happy. Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj gives a very nice example, and this is an example which comes from Christianity. He used to cite his grandmother. He said that his grandmother would say that no matter what happens, you are always in the hands of the Lord. When things are going well, you are in the right hand of the Lord. When things are not going well, you are in the left hand of the Lord. No matter what, you are always in the hands of the Lord. So no matter what, the Lord always is looking out for us, and he always does things just like a parent who is not mentally deranged does the best thing for the child. So what about the Supreme Lord, no? He always does what is best for us. And like you said, in hindsight, when we see later, many circumstances we think, why is he doing this to us? But at that time, our prayer can be that, my Lord, I do not see why you are doing this, but I know that you have a purpose. Just let me always remember this, and I have full confidence that even though this is difficult, it is going to help me grow, and it is going to help me come closer to you. So if we keep that always in mind, but it comes with that strong faith, right? That the Lord can never do anything which is harmful for us. And as we practice it, and as we grow through life, we get this wisdom because now we have more experience. And we see every circumstance which seemed to be a test. Which child, who likes to go through a test? But we know that when we go through a test, it's good because we grow that muscle, which helps us surrender, which helps us become stronger, increases our internal purification is going on. So the more we encounter these tests, and as we, as we advance, as we have more devotional service throughout our life, the test will become harder. Because we have to give up every single anartha, no? It's like when you clean a room, first it's the external things you clean, it seems clean, but then you see it's even more dirty than we thought, right? So the heart is like that, or when we remove weeds. No? Weeds are easy to remove, the room is easy to clean. But the biggest room, which is the heart, is very difficult to clean. No? It takes entire lifetimes and tested at the moment of death. So the Lord is just preparing us because we have surrendered to Him. And He's not going to let us, He doesn't give up on us, even though we give up on ourselves. Neither does the spiritual master give up on us. So we see here in the example of Bali Maharaj, no? How he inspired him to, even though his guru was telling him, this is the Supreme Lord, don't surrender to Him. But he had his values and he stuck to them. And we see the results are so wonderful. I hope that helps.
Thank you for your wonderful class, and the explanation was awesome. I just remembered the analogy that my senior godbrother had given in this particular context, the question that was asked. So he gave a wonderful analogy. He said, just like a small child who's situated on the ground level, floor level, which can be compared to us when we are going through any tribulations, any such difficult situation, and everything appears to be so complex and we can't understand why is it happening to me. So difficult to understand. So we are like that child situated on the floor level, looking up to his mother who is sitting on a higher level and doing some weaving or doing something like embroidery they do. Like Kritika, the other day I was watching her. You're doing something, right, for the deity dresses. So the child who is situated on the floor level cannot understand what's happening, because if you look at the back side, the reverse side of the thing, it looks complex. You can't figure out what's going on. So the child asks the mother, what are you doing? And she says, I'm crafting an elephant. She says, elephant? I can't see any of the elephant limbs here. So then the mother has to pick up the child, which means Mother, Krishna, who is like our mother, has to pick us up from the present level to the higher level. And then when the child is elevated to the next level, the child is able to appreciate, because now the elevation has happened. So child is able to see and appreciate, oh wow, such a wonderful elephant. So similarly, when we are going through that situation, we are like that child on the floor level, everything appears to be so complex. But once we are gone through that situation, the lesson has been, taught to us, then when we look back, we can appreciate, wow, there was Krishna's hand in it.
Nice, thank you for that analogy. Thank you so much. Anything else? Otherwise, we'll stop here, right? Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you for your participation.
Guru Bhakti Prabhu ki jai.
Vancha kalpatarubhyascha, kripa sindhubhyo